Carey Price, a lot of questions around Carey Price. He finally gets into the lineup, plays a handful of games, and then we learn that he needs some rest. And then we learn he's going to New York to talk to the doctor who operated on his knee. And now there are just more and more questions about Carey Price's future in the National Hockey League, his future with the organization, his injuries, and how will it affect the management plan for the Montreal Canadiens? Knuckles, I'll ask you this question first. How do you think the uncertainty surrounding Carey Price affects the work for Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes this offseason?
Well, it's going to be difficult to certainly replace this guy. That uncertainty, it's going to have a big effect. You look at the issues they have with the salary cap right now and some of the contracts, and let's look at the goaltending situation right now. Go figure, right? Primo is a guy who people kind of had their eyes set on. Geez, we signed him. He looks a little shaky. Now, is he ever going to be able to get his game where he's going to be that guy that can start here or just be a backup? Who knows? That's still such a big question mark, a Primo thing. Montembeault, hello. So, it's going to have a big effect on what happens moving forward here. The only good thing about it is the fact that, okay, terrible season this year. Don't expect much next year in the way of wins and losses. You got to keep the expectations low. But, I'm not sure where Carey Price is going to stand at the end. Does he want to be here? I often wonder, does he want to be here after last season and all that happened with him? You know, I think he went into Bergevin and said, don't protect me. Why'd he do that? We know his wife is from the Pacific Northwest, hoping that maybe they'll take him. But that contract is an albatross.
To that point, though, in January, he did say he didn't have any intention of moving. He did openly, the last opportunity he was asked about it, did say.
Yeah, saying that, and because things didn't work out, it's easy to say that, you know.
That is true.
So, I don't think we'll ever know his true intentions when it comes to that. But I honestly get the feeling that, a guy his stature and his caliber, does he really want to be part of this rebuild? Like, would he be here to reap any of the benefits? I don't think so. I mean, he's 35 in August, right? Not getting any younger. And that contract is just an albatross. It's almost like, here you go, take this. And I don't know how much negotiating was done, to tell you the truth, how much back and forth, because I think this is going to hurt them, certainly moving forward.
And I really don't have a good feeling of the way this is playing out with, the health of Carey Price, which has always been the big question mark from the get-go. Is he going to be able to come back and play at the level or close to the level that we remember him as? But, this thing has dragged on so long, and now we get to a situation where he's going back to see the doctor. I don't know why at this time of year, and it didn't happen before, if there was a concern that it wasn't, coming along as well as it should have been. And I don't have a good feel on the result of this one. And, that's the bottom line is Carey Price, health, his contract. There's a lot of things that are getting, into the mix here that's going to make things more difficult than what they had hoped for. And they're going to have to deal with this, obviously, if he comes back with the news that he can't play anymore. Wow, they got themselves a big hole, and they're going to have to do some, restructuring and find a way to get through his loss.
It's the biggest question mark going into the offseason. The contract is untradeable. Even if the Canadiens eat half of it, that's still a $5.25 million salary cap hit. There's 12 goalies in the NHL this year who earn more than $5 million. So it's even at $5 million, that's a lot of money for a goalie, and especially a guy who's going to be 35 with all the injuries. So it's untradeable. Buying him out, the way the buyout works, I wrote a column about this. You don't really save much. It's not even worth it to buy him out. Would he retire? Well, he's got $32 million left on his contract, and I think about $24 million of it is in signing bonuses. He got an $11 million signing bonus this year. Are you going to walk away from $32 million? So it's just that contract is the best case scenario for the Canadiens now is that Price can regain his health and be able to play 45. Don't forget, Jake Allen is out also with a groin injury. So going into next season, who knows what this goaltending situation is going to be like, but there's no way they can trade him. Buying him out doesn't really make much sense. I'd be surprised if he retires with leaving all that money on the table. So I think it's just, you just got to, if you're a Canadiens fan, you just got to hope that Price can come back, be somewhat healthy next season, be somewhere close to what he was in the playoffs last year, and that Jake Allen recovers from his groin injury and that those guys can split the goaltending duties next season.
The thing is, you're not asking that of a guy who's turning 25 in August. You're asking that of a guy who's turning 35 in August. I think to expect him to be at the high level he was in the Stanley Cup final, not saying it's impossible, but it's a bit of wishful thinking there.
And as Nick said, does he really want to be here? Does he want to be here on a team that's not, anywhere near winning the Stanley Cup when that's the one thing that he really wants? And he spoke about how devastating it was to come so close last year and not win, and how he's still recovering from that.
I know. Listen, if the Canadiens owed Rick Green $32 million, that you know what, he would suck it up and play.
Yeah, I would not retire.
And if he couldn't, he'd give the money back.
I know, knowing a bit of Rick's taste, I know where some of that $32 million would go.
Nice boats with that kind of cash.
Oh, that's boats, cars, all of that for you, Rick.
I've said all along, I just want 1 year in minimum wage. That's all I was going to.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Yeah, minimum wage is different for different types of people for different jobs. Well, yeah, your minimum wage is a little different from other people's minimum wage, Richard.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at it. In my last year playing, the salary I got was one paycheck for the average NHL player today. It's crazy.
You guys are just born too early, apparently.
No, God bless them. Hey, listen, I don't have a problem with guys getting paid the money they're getting paid, as long as they show up and bring it every night. And it's about time hockey players got it. You always watch the two most difficult sports to play as far as getting beat up, football and hockey. For years were low on the pay scale, and now those things have changed for them. So I think it's awesome that they're finally getting their due. And look, before, I get paid more than Gordie Howe ever got paid, and the Rocket and all those guys, and they probably looked at us like, God, what money they're making, right? And it's the way it goes, and timing is everything. And God bless them. It's good, these guys. Because a lot of people don't realize the toll it takes on your body and everything, and retiring young, and the difficulties that come with retirement for some people. It's not. We all go through it. Some handle it better than others, but you could retire with a ton of dough and still have a very difficult time trying to find your way. So God bless them that they're making the money they're making today. All I ever hope is they bring it every night.
And Knox, in all honesty, you should have got paid a lot more for the kind of guys that you had to fight and go at. And like I said, for many, many years, the worst thing the opposition could do was think that they beat you, because you would have followed them home after the game and and dug them all and punished them. And thank goodness you're on my side.
Yeah,
thank God you're on our side, especially for this POTUS video as well.
There'll never be another Knuckles Island either.
Oh, no. Well.
No. You can let us know in the comment section how Carey Price and that whole ordeal will affect the management, the Canadiens management this offseason, because it is not going to be easy to handle. Subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out show on YouTube. Subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out newsletter, and visit hockeyinsideout.com for full episodes.